Hi and welcome to Mermaid Tears. Today I'm going to give you a couple of ideas on how to do a centerpiece using sea glass and some candle holders. I'll give you a couple of different ideas on what to do with the same three pieces. I picked up 3 different sizes of candle holders at the dollar store, I believe. Of course, if you were using them, you'd want to make sure that you got the tag on the bottom off more completely than I did. I bought mine just for the demonstration purposes, so I'm not that worried about it. So the first thing that I did is put my 3 different size glasses onto a mirror. And again, I just picked this mirror up, I think, at Dollarama, and placed my 3 glasses kind of in the center together. One of the things that you can do is take a ribbon and just very loosely tie it around the middle of the 3 glasses to kind of bring them together and make them look like a more cohesive piece. So that is what you would do with the ribbon. I'm not a big fan of the ribbon idea, not just because I find it a little bit clunky. Now, I didn't use a very stiff ribbon, but I'm not a big fan of the idea of the ribbon just because if I'm somebody sitting at the back end of the table, then I don't necessarily have a view of the front piece, and so it kind of gives you an idea of this is the front of the table, this is the back of the table, whereas with a round table I always think it's nicer to leave it a little bit more basic. Another idea is to just wrap the stems with the ribbon. So that would involve gluing the ribbon on and just wrapping each individual stem with whatever color your wedding is. So like so, and then each one of them would be wrapped. Again, I like leaving them clear just because it opens it a bit more to the table and is a little bit more inviting, but that's another way that you can decorate them. Or you can use the twine and, of course, tie the twine and either just do a bow or take the twine and just wrap that kind of casually around the stems if you feel like decorating the stems. I think they're quite elegant and you don't need to. You could also do the bow with a little charm hanging off of them, which is kind of a cute idea. So each glass would be tied with a little bow at the top and a little charm on it. I'm going to just leave mine completely bare, but in the middle of my centerpiece. Depending on if you want to keep your centerpiece as one piece together as a whole, you could always glue the glasses down onto your mirror just to keep them stable, or of course you can just leave them like so. So what you would do once you've decided how you are going to do your table is take the sea glass. I'm going to pretend that yours is a tealy aqua wedding, and just fill the base of the cup kind of about a quarter of the way, I guess. All right. So once you have your cups filled, you can see I kind of did it about a quarter of the way. You're going to take your votive candles and put them right on top of your sea glass color. And if you want, you can take some of the bigger pieces to try and hold your votive candle more into place and cover it. What I would do is just take a pair of scissors and actually cut the piece off, open it up, and just put the candle nicely right on top of my sea glass. So you can see I still have a little bit more room, so I can fill that up a little bit more. And it's just trial and error to decide how high you want to fill it. And just keep filling it and smushing it down. All right, so then I'm going to do the same with my other candles, and I'm just cutting it, taking that apart, and putting my candles in. If I was doing this as a display at home, I could also do different colors in each glass if I wanted, or maybe I have a room with that color theme, so I could do that color of glass in there. And there we go. So now I've got my 3 candles in there. I can keep them in there just plain on top, or I can certainly go ahead and put some of the sea glass pieces around. I like it I like it simple and elegant, so I'm just going to keep it as such. But then my base here is still looking a little bit bare, so I can either, remember your bottom pieces would be clean, go around and just put a little bit of the sea glass. I would probably find some that are a little bit more cooked than this on there. Or what I would do, just to bring it in to the idea of the theme a little bit more, is actually take some of the sand. Now I'm not going to put my sand there, but I would take some of the sand, and I'll just give you an idea, and actually cover, so then it doesn't even matter that I didn't take that off, and just go around and cover that whole base with the sand. I chose a white sand just because it matches the candles really nicely. And then I would probably take some of my more cooked pieces of sea glass and place them just really nicely on top of the sand that I have put down, and that creates kind of a more elegant look and feel, and also ties in that color a little bit better. The other thing that you can do, of course, is paint your mirror or find one with a white frame. You could also take your ribbon if you really wanted to do a ribbon. So you would start and you would glue it down in one spot, and you would just ruffle it along the edges, which adds a little bit more of a softer touch to it and helps, again, just give it a little bit more of a formal feel, placing it around the frame like that. Fill these completely and use flameless candles. The reason that you don't want to fill them completely if you're using a actual candle is because you want to leave room for it to fall into, but if you were using flameless, certainly you could fill it right up and then just have your flameless candle. One trick to get it to settle is just tap it lightly, and then the glass evens out. And so there would be your one with the flameless candle on it. I like it with a real candle because it's a little bit smoother and a little bit cleaner. And I also like just having it kind of sitting nicely above there with some room to go down. The only thing to caution when you're using a real candle is make sure that the heights match, so you don't want your candle going too far out over top of it. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's edition of Mermaid Tears. I do hope that I will see you guys next time, and please feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns below. And of course, make sure that you check out my website, www.mermaidtears.ca. I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous day.